Welcome back, everyone, to Let's Communicate, Issues That Affect Family Life, a presentation of the West Orange Municipal Alliance. I'm Paul Spahala, and once again, we're very happy to be joined by Randy Nathan. Randy is a life coach, and during our program today, we're having a discussion with 4 students from West Orange High School. Now, Randy, generally, when you have these life coaching sessions, approximately how many students are generally involved?
When I do the groups, we're talking about 12 to 15 students.
So here we're getting a situation
Small
where, thank
taste.
goodness, we've got
Absolutely.
4 excellent students
Absolutely.
who are filling in for the 12 students who aren't here and giving you some feedback.
Exactly.
They're doing a great job.
Exactly. It's
so I'm going to let you
fantastic.
continue with them right
That's
now.
great. You guys are very inspiring. I really appreciate your honesty and candor. It's fantastic. You have such a great mix with all of you. It's really great. As we were talking at the break, we've talked a lot about the senior year and the transition. Let's kind of change gears a little bit and talk about relationships and the type of relationships, what relationships mean to you. When I say the word relationship, what does that mean to you?
Security.
Security. Yeah.
A partner.
Partner.
I'd say the same thing, partner.
Partner.
Friendship, bond.
Friendship. Because there are different types of relationships, right? What kind of relationships are there?
Family relationships.
Friendships.
Friendships.
Love relationships.
I'm sorry?
Love relationships.
Love relationships, yeah.
Work
No.
relationships.
Work relationships. There's tons of types of relationships. You know, as a former social worker, well, the foundation of the work in social work is creating relationships with people. You're in an environment now where you have tons of types of relationships. What is one of the most important relationships that you seek in high school?
I seek friendship
Okay.
out of all of it because in the end, you always have your friends and family and that whole love thing. It's just
Loving
not
from
right
your
now.
friends?
No, just like love relationships. Like right now,
Mhm.
I think there's no time for that. Like
No time for love.
I
No
As
time for love.
bad as
if
that
you-
sounds, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was about, like in high school you just want like a boyfriend and all these friends, but coming up to my senior year I realized that I was completely wrong. It's about like family, like there's always going to be time for that, but
How nice.
yeah, I was wrong. So,
You were wrong.
Yeah.
All right.
I think if you're seeking a relationship, it should be a friend relationship because I think like romantic relationships, you shouldn't have to seek it should find you.
Yeah.
Wow, that's magnificent.
I agree with that.
That's beautiful.
Something one of my friends told me
Yeah.
a few weeks ago because I was having trouble with just a regular girl problem. She told me that I think your problem was that you're looking for something. You're looking to find a girl. And I thought about it, and she was right.
Yeah.
I was looking for something. I need to let it happen.
Let it happen. How often do you find yourself looking for that friendship or looking for that kind of date?
Yeah, I completely agree with Dan. Like, like I've always been looking for it, and like I think it did interfere with like schoolwork and things like that. And then finally, I just stopped, and it came to me. So.
And it came to you. Why do you think that happens?
I think you get so preoccupied on looking for it that you just start forgetting about everything else, which is the most important thing. And I find that people that are looking for relationships with people don't act like their true selves.
That's true.
And because of that is what makes it actually harder to find someone.
The more you think about how you want it, what you're really doing is thinking how you don't have it.
Yeah,
And
it's true.
the more you think about that, the more you realize you don't have it. That's the kind of energy that you send out, and that's what you're kind of getting back. So that would make complete sense. That when you let go of it and let whatever happen, that happens naturally.
But sometimes you get it, and then you realize it's not like.
Then you get it, and it's not what you thought it was going to be. Has that happened to any of you before?
I think I sometimes experience like the opposite. Like
Yeah.
a lot of my problem is I've run into was like throughout high school I've been looking for like a steady girlfriend, but I apparently like what all my friends say happens with me,
Yeah.
and like I've noticed it too.
Yeah.
I go through something called like I get into girls' friend zones.
The friend zone.
Friend zones.
Ah, what is the friend zone?
Friend zone is when you become too good friends with a girl and she
Yeah.
doesn't look at you past that.
Yeah, there was a movie about that, wasn't there?
The thing with me,
Yeah.
the problem with me is
What is it?
Wait, hold on. It's
It was a movie. It was very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll think of it.
And you get in the friend zone.
And the thing with me is, I was always trying to like figure out ways to stop getting into friend zones
Yeah.
and like changing myself. But I realized, like I don't mean to be cynical at all, but high school girls are looking for different things in guys than what they're going to be looking for in
That's
the end.
great. I'm so glad you said that.
And
What-
I'm not that kind of guy.
What are they looking for, do you think?
They've told me flat to my face. They're looking for like the kind of like jerky, edgy kind of guy.
And you're not the jerky, edgy kind of guy.
I'm not that kind of guy
Bad
at all.
I don't
boy.
think so. That doesn't seem the bad boy.
The bad boy kind of guy. And even if they say they're not, most of them are.
Really?
And you have
What-
to find the few that aren't. And
Why do
those
you
are
think
the
that
ones.
is?
Because they're not looking
Rebellious
to settle
teens.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
No,
know. Just how it
So that's
is.
not the case. That's
no,
not the truth.
No, that's not true. That's like it's like there's always like that time where you want a bad boy, but like when it all comes down to it, like you really don't want that. You just need to find that right guy.
The right person.
Mhm.
That's right. Now you spend a lot of time with your friends, though, right?
Yeah.
Right. How much time do you spend with your friends compared to your family?
Oh.
Spend more time with my friends.
Yeah.
More
Every
time.
day
When
after
do
A
you
lot
school,
more,
leave home?
right?
Weekends.
And that's hard. I know as parents, you know, and I'm a parent myself, and watching my daughter go through it, it's tough. That you have this pull away. And when was the first time you started to realize the power of your friendships?
I think ever since you were like, you started to have feelings. I
Mhm.
think you've.
At which point did you begin to realize there was that draw to be with your friends and want to spend time with your friends and go to the mall and talk to them and all that other stuff?
I say
When
middle
I
school.
Yeah, I was
Middle
gonna say
school.
Yeah,
middle
in
school.
middle school,
Middle
I
school.
never wanted to
Definitely.
stay home on a
Yeah.
Friday or Saturday
Yeah.
night. It would be the
It's
worst
pretty
thing.
bad.
Absolutely.
I know.
So
The
what
worst
happens-
option.
what do you think that
Last
happens?
resort.
That desire to be with your friends versus, you know, and how you pull away from your family. Why do you think that happens?
Maybe because with your family, it's like the same thing every day
Mhm.
over and over
Mhm.
again, and with your friends, it's always something new.
Yeah, you like hanging out, similar things. Like you said, you go to your friends for everything, right? What about issues and challenges in your life? Who do you go to talk out your problems?
Go to my friends.
Depends
And
on the
fam-
problem,
It depends
I
on what the
think.
problem is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I go to my friends most of the time.
Yeah.
I really think it depends on the problem.
All right. So when you say depends, what are the depends? I mean, how do you classify one versus, oh, this is a problem I go to my friends, this is one I don't? I mean, how do you decide which is which?
Well, like
Relationship
if I have
problem.
problems with my friends, I'll tell it to my boyfriend, and when I have problems with my boyfriend, I'll talk to my friends. So.
That works.
If you have problems with your parents, you talk to your friends.
Yeah.
If you have problems with your
that's
friends, you talk to your parents.
It works.
Yeah. How close are you with your parents now, your families?
Not that close.
Like I'll eventually be close. Like I know that.
Yeah.
It's just that now I'm getting better.
That's an honest answer. And it's got to be
I'm
tough to be
really-
honest. You're close?
I feel like I'm really close with both of them,
Yeah.
and I feel like like they relate to me a
Mhm.
lot, and they let me do like what they think is best for me, but they
Mhm.
let me make my own decisions,
That's nice.
and they're
That's
always
real
there for
nice.
me.
Like I like love my mom and dad, but I don't think I show it to them every day.
Wow.
I think like I could say it, but I have a hard time like showing it to them.
Well, at least they know now they're going to watch the show,
So
right?
yeah.
But family is a wild thing. We spend a lot of time with our family, and then we make our friends. We want to get far off into the world with our friends, and then at some point, family becomes important again. What do you think? I mean, you get married and you want to have kids or whatever. You have your own family. Why
you
is that?
start realizing what your parents went through, and you
Mhm.
appreciate it more.
Yeah. So why do you think you have to wait that long
to realize.
to realize that?
Because you haven't gone through it yet.
You haven't gone through it. You have to have some kind of life experience.
Yeah, you have to have the experience hands-on
Yeah.
to really understand.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? The first-hand experience.
Well, you have to go through something if you want to live through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many of you want to be parents someday? Parents? All right, so
Yes.
why do you want to be parents?
It's just what you do.
It's just what you do. So I can't be a non-parent. Well, I guess you could
Yeah,
be a
you just-
non-parent.
I just love little kids.
You love little kids?
Yeah, me too. I love kids.
But don't little kids get big?
But I
There's
like.
only kids like you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a good kid.
So how do you think you learn how to be a parent?
From your
From your
parents.
parents.
Is there Parent School 101?
No.
No, you just like.
I bet you there's a
learn.
lot of people that wish there was, though.
Yeah, I got to tell you, there's a lot of people. What do you know about forgiveness in your parents?
It's like you always know, like no matter what happens, that they love you, and vice versa.
Mhm.
So it's like you always know you can go,
Mm-hmm.
like, to them for anything, even though you don't want to admit it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know your relationship with your parents. I don't.
Yeah.
By any means, and I don't know where it's necessarily heading. But a lot of times we have these unbelievable expectations for our parents. Or we have friends who have these great relationships with their parents, and we're like, oh, why not? What's wrong? Why isn't my
Yeah.
parent? What's going on? And the hard part is accepting our parents for who they are. You want them to accept you for who you are, right? These great, talented, and incredibly ambitious. But yet, we sometimes don't turn that table too fairly on our parents and don't give them the same kind of acceptance as we want from them. What do you think it's like to be a parent of a teen in 2006?
Oh my God! I had to go through my mom's.
I'd have to get the sentence out. I'd have to get it out. You were already there.
Oh my God!
It's stressful, but I think if you instill the right virtues and
Mhm.
values, and
Mhm.
you know, and how you want, not necessarily how you want them to be,
Mhm.
but how you think, what you think maybe the right way. I can't. There's never a right way, but if you
There's lots of ways.
there's lots of ways, and
Yeah.
if you do one of the right ways, I think they can become responsible, and
Yeah.
they can. You don't have to worry as much.
All right, that's good.
I think you should get your kid when he's young. Teach him right and wrong. Make sure that he knows right and wrong, and then from that point, once you're sure he knows what's right and wrong, you just let him choose for
Exactly.
himself.
Okay, that's very interesting.
I,
If you could, 1 second, I just want to try to get this. Is a really good idea. So, what's the age? This is great.
Well, I guess you take it in steps. Like, you know, like let him go a little bit as you're teaching him. Like you teach them this is right and wrong. Now you go make your choice.
Okay. Is there a particular age or just?
No, just
4, 5,
step by
6?
step. Like it doesn't have to be like a fine line where it's like, okay, now do whatever. It's just like let them do a little bit more at a time. Like, okay, now you can stay out until this amount of time, and like just step by step.
It's also an element of building trust. If you
Yeah.
follow through, that's great.
I was just gonna say, I don't know how my parents do it. Like, I can't see myself. Like, I just hope my kids aren't like. No, I'm kidding.
Wait, they'll be like you?
Yeah.
Really?
No, it's just like, I guess when you're a teenager, you see, you know, life from a different perspective. And then when you're an adult, you see it, you know what I mean? And as much as you're like, okay, I'm never going to grow up and think that way, you eventually do. It's just part of life.
Part of life. One of the things I had mentioned before is one of the foundation principles we talk about in coaching is life is a journey, not a destination. How does that resonate with you?
Just got to go through it. You can't really.
That should worry about being happy and having fun instead of like working to get to a goal, because you don't have that much time to be messing around.
Life's too short. You gotta just like
Life is
Enjoy
short.
it.
you don't want to wake up one day and just be like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Why work so hard to get old and not be able to do what you want to do because you waited too long?
There's a lot of people that do that. They
Just have fun with what you
Sure.
got while you got it.
What do you think about what Adam said?
I think it's great.
Yeah.
But it's like,
Your mind's ticking differently, though, isn't it?
yeah,
but
at
not
the,
for
at
me.
the same time, it's
That's
like,
Adam. That's not me.
it's like, you know, the press and like TV, they like,
Yeah.
growing up,
Mhm.
it tells you something different about
Yeah,
life and how
yeah.
like, you know, just like with everything and how money makes you happy and all that stuff. And
That's great.
And we're almost out of time, but you know what's interesting, Randy, in that our 4 students,
Yeah.
although, again, great opinions, really good comments, they all work in the media or on stage or in front of the camera or behind the camera, and I'm just wondering, do they now have a better idea of how the media tries to influence them
that's
because
a
of the
great
work
question.
they do here?
That's a great question.
yeah,
I definitely think so.
I know it does. Like, you know, you're the lookout of whatever you're trying to show them.
That's a great question.
And you can manipulate what you want to show them, because you don't have to necessarily you can't change what they say, but you can show certain things that they say and do certain actions. You can tell them, you can give them questions beforehand, and they can answer them how you want them to.
Absolutely.
I think you can take pretty much any story you want and make it look good, bad, or otherwise. I think no matter what, there's always an angle and like something you can say to make people just think how you want them to think.
That's right. Powerful stuff.
We are almost out of time. I'd like to thank again our panel for being
That was
with
pretty
us.
cool. That was really
I don't think we're going to get rich off of them. They seem to
Aw.
be pretty well grounded.
Oh my gosh.
And I think they've got a bright future
They
coming.
got an amazing future.
And
amazing
I wouldn't
future.
be surprised if more than one of them is going to be doing my job pretty soon.
I better
so-
watch out. I'm going to be a life coach.
Exactly. So I think we're in trouble. Again, this is just a sample of what you do on a regular basis. We were so happy to have you as a guest of ours a short time ago. If you could summarize, and again, I know you're generally with a much larger group. You're with them for extended sessions, not just a
Absolutely.
30-minute session.
Absolutely.
But if you could give us sort of a summary of our group here today.
Well, we certainly have 4 very unique individuals with passion and dreams and fears and aspirations and fantasies that you really opened yourself up very nice today. We talked about your senior year transition. We talked about relationships and boyfriends and family, and your willingness to be open is great. And the fact that you're so willing to know who you are as a person. One of the biggest challenges when I deal with teens is their confidence and dealing with self-esteem. In order for you to know where you're going, you have to know who you are now. And it's been a pleasure being with you and meeting you, and I look forward to seeing you on TV and seeing you around. You're an inspiration to me, I know to Paul, and I look forward to only hearing about great things about you. Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Once again, thank you all for being with us and for joining us today on Let's Communicate, Issues That Affect Family Life, a presentation of the West Orange Municipal Alliance. Again, thank you very much to our panel for being with us. Thank you to Randy Nathan. At the end of our program, you'll find more information about Randy Nathan if you're interested in contacting him to maybe run some type of session with an organization that you have. Again, thank you all for being with us. I'm Paul Spahala. Good night, everyone.